Ever wonder how much restaurant owners actually make? I mean, we all love eating out.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about the business side of things?
Mm-mm.
Like, how much do they actually take home?
Right.
So that's what we're diving into today. We're looking at the money behind restaurants.
Yeah.
I've got a whole stack of articles and research here.
Oh, wow.
And honestly, it's pretty eye-opening.
I bet.
Whether you dream of opening your own place someday,
Uh-huh.
or maybe you're thinking of investing in a friend's venture,
Yeah.
or even if you just love a good behind-the-scenes look at how things work,
Right.
get ready, because we're about to learn something new.
It's so interesting, we focus so much on the food,
Yeah.
the ambiance, the experience.
Totally.
But we rarely stop to think about the financial reality of actually running a restaurant.
Right.
And the truth is,
Yeah.
there's no simple answer when it comes to how much they earn.
Definitely not as straightforward as like sell food, make money.
Exactly.
There's got to be more to it.
There's so much more to it.
Yeah.
It's a complex ecosystem with so many variables
Mhm.
that all impact a restaurant's bottom line.
So where do we even start with something like that?
Well, let's start with a factor that's always top of mind. Location.
Okay, location, location, location.
Yeah.
We've all heard that phrase a million times, but how much does it actually affect a restaurant's income?
It's not just a catchy saying, it's actually backed by data.
Really?
Yeah. Research shows that restaurants in high-traffic areas with good visibility, they can see like a 20% increase in revenue
Wow.
compared to similar businesses in less desirable locations.
Oh, that makes sense.
Just think about it.
Yeah.
Foot traffic accessibility, even parking.
Yeah.
All those things play a role in driving customers to your door.
Totally. If you're tucked away on some side street, it's going to be harder for people to even find you,
Exactly.
let alone become like regulars.
Exactly. And it's not just about attracting customers either.
Okay.
Location also heavily influences costs.
Oh, right.
Like rent in a bustling downtown area. It's going to be significantly higher than in a quiet suburb.
That's true.
And that impacts your profit margins from the get-go.
So even if you're packed every night,
Yeah.
that prime location could be eating into your profits
Absolutely.
if the rent is sky high.
That's exactly right. And one of our sources actually highlights this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's this small family-owned bistro in New York City.
Okay.
Despite the crazy high costs of doing business in Manhattan, they're turning a solid profit.
Wow. How do they do that?
Well, they strategically chose a location with lower rent,
Smart.
but high foot traffic near a popular tourist destination.
Ah, so they found that sweet spot.
They did.
The balance between visibility and affordability.
Uh-huh.
That's really encouraging to hear for aspiring restaurateurs in expensive cities.
It is a great example of how thoughtful planning can make all the difference.
Yeah.
But location is just one piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
What kind of restaurant you open also has a huge impact on your potential earnings.
Right, because a fine dining establishment
Yeah.
is going to have a completely different business model
Totally different.
than, say, a fast casual chain.
Yeah, it's like comparing apples and oranges.
I was just thinking that.
Fine dining often commands higher prices,
Yeah.
and they focus on an exclusive curated experience.
For-
So that also means fewer customers
makes sense.
and potentially longer wait times between seatings.
Right.
On the other hand, fast casual thrives on volume, serving a larger number of customers at lower price points.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that difference in my own dining habits.
Right.
I might splurge on a fancy meal once in a while,
Yeah,
but I'm way more likely to grab a quick, affordable lunch during the week.
exactly. And our sources actually feature a fast casual chain in suburban Texas
Okay.
that's pulling in a very healthy income thanks to that consistent customer volume.
Nice.
Their focus is on speed, affordability, and catering to the needs of busy families and professionals.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
They've identified their target market and built a business model that works for them. So when you're thinking about opening a restaurant, have you ever considered what type of place you'd be most drawn to?
Oh, for sure.
And like what the financial realities of that model might be?
Yeah.
It's kind of fun to think about.
It is fun to think about.
But while we're imagining those delicious possibilities,
Yeah.
we can't forget about the often overlooked expenses that can really eat into a restaurant's profits.
Oh, absolutely.
These are the costs that aren't as obvious.
Right.
The stuff that doesn't make it onto the menu.
Exactly.
Ah, yes, the hidden costs of running a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
I have a feeling this is where things get really interesting
Yeah.
and maybe a little scary for aspiring owners.
Yeah.
I read in one of the articles
Yeah.
that managing these ongoing expenses is one of the biggest challenges for restaurant owners.
For sure.
Have you found that to be true?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, it's absolutely true. Managing expenses is like crucial in this industry. We're talking about things like labor costs,
Okay.
food waste, utilities, and of
Yeah.
course, taxes. These can add up really quickly
Right.
and make or break a restaurant's profitability.
It's like that sinking feeling when you check your bank balance after a grocery shopping spree,
Yeah.
only it's happening every month.
Exactly. But the good news is
Okay.
there are strategies to mitigate these costs.
Okay, good.
Our sources actually give some excellent tips.
Oh, perfect.
For example, menu engineering.
Menu engineering?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a technique that focuses on strategically designing your menu
Okay.
to kind of subtly guide customers towards the more profitable items.
So it's almost like psychology.
It is a bit like
How
psychology.
does that work in practice?
Well, it involves things like carefully placing high profit margin dishes
Okay.
in prominent spots on the menu,
Uh-huh.
using visuals and descriptive language to make certain items more appealing.
Oh, interesting.
And even like strategically bundling items
Okay.
to encourage larger orders.
So it's not about tricking customers,
No, not at all.
but rather presenting options in a way that benefits both the diner and the restaurant.
Exactly.
I like that. What about food waste?
Yeah,
That seems like a major expense for restaurants.
it is.
And a huge environmental concern as well.
Absolutely. The sources highlight the importance of implementing strict inventory management systems,
Okay.
using a first-in, first-out approach to ensure ingredients are used before they expire,
Smart.
and getting creative with repurposing leftovers or excess ingredients.
I've seen some restaurants doing really cool things with food waste these days.
Yeah.
Like turning vegetable scraps into broths or using day-old bread for croutons.
It's great.
It's great to see chefs embracing sustainability while also saving money.
It's a win-win.
Totally.
Yeah.
Another key area for cost control, I imagine, is labor management.
Yeah, for sure.
Like optimizing staffing levels based on peak hours
Right.
and anticipated customer volume,
Yeah, that can make a significant difference in your labor cost percentage.
which ideally should be what?
Ideally, it should fall between 25 and 35%.
Okay, I imagine staffing can be a real juggling act,
Oh, it is.
especially in an industry that's known for being kind of unpredictable.
For sure.
It's a delicate balance between providing great service and managing costs effectively.
It is. Speaking of cost management, what about upselling and cross-selling?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever felt a little awkward when a server tries to push extra items?
Oh, all the time, I feel like.
Yeah.
Is there a way to do it without feeling so pushy?
There's definitely a fine line
Yeah.
between suggestive selling and being overly aggressive.
Right.
The key is to make it feel like a genuine recommendation that actually enhances the dining experience.
Okay.
For example, suggesting a specific wine pairing
Right.
that complements a dish,
Yep.
or offering a side dish that elevates the main course.
So it's about adding value for the customer
Exactly.
rather than just trying to boost the check average.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But let's be real for a moment. With
Okay.
all these challenges and hidden costs, is owning a restaurant even financially worth it?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And honestly, it's tough to answer definitively.
Yeah.
The restaurant business is inherently risky. It requires a significant financial investment and a lot of hard work.
So it's not just about passion for food.
No,
It's a calculated business decision.
it is. It's crucial to go into it with a clear understanding of the financial realities
Right.
and a solid business plan.
Yeah.
But while owning a restaurant can be incredibly challenging, it can also be incredibly rewarding.
I bet.
There's something truly special
Yeah.
about creating a space where people come together to enjoy delicious food and create memories.
I agree. There's a certain magic to the restaurant industry
Yeah,
that goes beyond just profit margins.
absolutely.
It's about community and creativity and bringing people joy.
Right.
But let's get back to the financial side of things.
Okay.
So you've done your research.
Yeah.
You've found a great location. You have a solid concept,
Yeah.
and you're ready to dive in.
Okay.
What are some key financial metrics
Yeah.
that every restaurant owner should be tracking?
One of the most important metrics is revenue per seat or per hour.
Revenue per seat.
Yeah.
So how much income each table is generating.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which can help you adjust pricing, seating arrangements,
Right.
or even menu offerings to optimize revenue.
So it's about maximizing the efficiency of your space
Right.
and ensuring that each customer is contributing to profitability.
Exactly.
What other numbers should owners be keeping an eye on?
Food cost percentage is crucial.
Food cost percentage.
This measures how much you're spending on ingredients relative to your menu prices. The goal is to keep this number below 30% to maintain healthy profit margins.
Got it. And we already touched on labor cost percentage.
We did.
Which is another critical metric to monitor.
Yeah, aiming for that sweet spot between 25 and 35%.
So it's all about finding that delicate balance. It is. Between keeping costs under control without compromising quality or service.
Right.
It sounds like a constant juggling act.
It is. And let's not forget about taxes.
Oh, yeah, right. Taxes.
Which can be a significant expense for restaurant owners.
Sure.
Understanding your tax obligations and setting aside funds for quarterly payments is essential.
Taxes are definitely something you can't afford to ignore.
No, you can't.
It seems like managing the financial side of a restaurant is almost as important as the culinary side.
Absolutely. And it's not something you can just set and forget.
Right.
It requires ongoing analysis, adaptation, and a willingness to learn and evolve as your business grows.
Speaking of growth, let's shift gears and talk about the different ways restaurants can expand and increase their profits.
Okay.
I mean, everyone dreams of building a culinary empire, right? I mean, let's say a restaurant is doing well. They've got a loyal customer base.
Yeah.
And they're ready to kind of take things to the next level.
Right.
What are some of the most common growth strategies?
Well, one classic approach is opening additional locations.
Oh, yeah. More restaurants.
Yeah. Expanding your footprint can significantly increase revenue.
Makes sense.
And brand visibility.
Sure.
But it's not without its challenges.
The kind of challenges.
Well, managing multiple locations adds like a whole new layer of complexity.
I bet.
Maintaining consistency across locations is key.
Okay.
You know, customers expect the same quality of food and service.
Right.
Whether they're at the original location or a new branch.
Of course.
That means replicating recipes, training staff, and ensuring like a consistent brand experience.
Yeah.
It's a lot to manage.
And let's not forget about finding suitable locations.
Right.
And navigating the logistical challenges of actually setting up a new restaurant.
Oh, yeah. All of that.
I bet that can be a real headache.
It definitely is. Real estate permits construction.
Oh, my gosh.
It's a lot to handle.
Yeah.
And of course, there are the financial considerations.
Right.
Opening a new restaurant requires a significant capital investment.
And it's crucial to have a solid financial plan in place.
For sure. Speaking of financial strategies.
Yeah.
What about franchising?
Yeah.
That seems like a popular way for restaurants to expand.
It is.
Without taking on all the risks themselves.
Right. Franchising can be a great option for rapid growth.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're licensing your brand and business model to others who invest in and operate their own locations.
So they're paying you to use your name and system.
Exactly. It's a way to generate revenue without having to directly manage each new restaurant.
Smart. But I imagine there are certain criteria a restaurant needs to meet.
Yeah.
To be a good candidate for franchising.
Oh, for sure. You need a proven concept with a strong brand identity.
Okay.
A systematized operational model that can be easily replicated.
Makes sense.
And comprehensive training and support for franchisees.
Yeah.
It's not just about having a great recipe.
Right.
It's about having a scalable and successful business model.
So it's more than just expanding.
It's about replicating that success in a completely different location.
Right.
With a different team. That's pretty impressive when you think about it.
It is.
Are there other growth strategies beyond just opening more restaurants?
Definitely. Restaurants can diversify their revenue streams by offering catering services.
Oh, catering.
Launching a delivery platform.
Right.
Even creating their own line of retail products.
Like what?
Like sauces, spice blends, or cookbooks.
Ooh, I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's a way to expand your reach beyond the physical limitations of your restaurant space.
Exactly.
And it allows you to connect with customers in new and interesting ways.
It does. What about those times when a restaurant isn't thriving?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe profits are down or they're facing increased competition.
That's got to be tough.
Yeah, is there a point where it's time to throw in the towel?
Like, is it ever hopeless?
Not necessarily. Every restaurant goes through ups and downs.
Right.
And even successful businesses face challenges.
For sure.
The key is to be proactive and adaptable.
So when a restaurant is struggling, what are some strategies they can use to kind of turn things around?
Well, first and foremost, take a hard look at your menu pricing.
Okay.
Are your costs aligned with industry standards and current ingredient prices? Is there room to adjust pricing without alienating customers?
Right, because nobody wants to feel like they're being overcharged.
Exactly.
But you also need to make sure you're not undervaluing your offerings.
Right. What else can restaurant owners do to boost their bottom line?
Yeah.
Scrutinize your overhead costs.
Okay.
Are there opportunities to negotiate better rates with suppliers?
Yeah.
Can you streamline operations and reduce waste?
Okay.
Perhaps adjust staffing levels during slower periods?
Yeah.
Every little bit helps.
It's like giving your finances a thorough checkup.
Exactly.
And trimming the fat where you can.
Right. And of course, marketing plays a huge role in attracting customers.
Oh, for sure.
In today's digital world, having a strong online presence is essential.
Yeah.
Update your website, engage with customers on social media,
Right.
run targeted promotions,
Wow.
and consider partnering with local businesses for cross-promotional opportunities.
So it's about analyzing the situation.
Yeah.
Making strategic adjustments, and staying connected with your target audience.
Exactly.
It's like a recipe for success.
I like that.
But instead of ingredients, you're using business savvy and a dash of creativity.
I love it. At the end of the day, owning a restaurant is a marathon, not a sprint.
Ooh, that's good.
It requires resilience, flexibility, and a willingness to constantly learn and adapt to the ever-changing dynamics of the industry.
Well said. And that brings us to the end of our deep dive into this fascinating world of restaurant ownership and earnings.
It really is fascinating.
We've covered so much ground today, from location and concept to managing costs, growing your business, and even weathering the inevitable storms.
Absolutely.
I hope our listener has gained some valuable insights into this dynamic and often unpredictable industry.
Yeah, it's a wild ride.
Whether you're a seasoned restaurant owner or simply a curious foodie, remember that knowledge is power.
It is.
The more you understand about the business side of things, the better equipped you'll be to make informed decisions.
For sure.
Whether you're running a restaurant, investing in one, or simply enjoying a delicious meal out.
Exactly.
So next time you're at your favorite spot, take a moment to appreciate all the hard work, the passion, and yes, even the financial savvy that goes into creating that experience.
Absolutely. Well said.
Thanks. And with that, we'll bid you farewell.
Bon appetit.
Until next time, stay hungry for knowledge.